What's happening, guys? This is Logan Robinson from Here the Spear, presented to you by NoleGameday.com. We're here live on an instant reaction to Florida State's 8th loss of the season. It's not like where it's, their 8th win and nothing like what we saw last year and years past, VZ. But this is now, congratulations to Mac Brown, first off. All of us on this show predicted Florida State to lose this game and kind of went the route that I had expected. Florida State loses 35-11. And as you can see down there on the banner, FSU quits. Like, you could just tell in this game, FSU quit this game, and you saw that pretty heavily on the defensive side. Offensively, you just know there's absolutely nothing at all there capable of doing anything at even a middle school or high school level. So the defense is kind of just fed up with things, but then, you still would not like to see some of your youngsters out there not try to go save some touchdown runs from North Carolina. But Marion Hampton goes off and has himself a day, well over 200 yards all purpose, recording 5 touchdowns, 172 yards on the ground by himself, VZ. And overall, this is just another game that,
and that wasn't all. You forgot his 93 receiving yards and receiving touchdown on the shovel pass that went untouched for 50 yards.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because I think I tweeted just like a couple series before that, Hampton's well over 200 yards purpose, and then he does that, and that was an atrocious play. But with me this evening is Austin VZ, our lead basketball and our football guy here on Hear the Spear. First thoughts of this game, VZ.
My first thought is I really did not want to do this, and that I'm contractually obligated to be here. Otherwise, I will not be here. This product sucks. I'm still not 100%. I'm still kind of sick. There's nothing I would rather be doing. I would rather be doing anything than doing this because this team stinks. The offense sucks. The offensive line sucks. The defense showed no effort. I'm over it. Just over it.
You know what's crazier? We were talking about it just a little bit ago in the production meeting, is that this team finds ways for it to look worse week by week. Like, that's something the most impressive thing that I can take away from this team and what Norvell has put out as a product is that it finds a way to look worse, and it's getting worse, and it's going to get even more worse as Florida State is going to go travel to face Notre Dame, number 8 in the country, next weekend. But in this case, you got a 4-4 team that just came into Tallahassee in your house and whooped your ass. And, there was no shocker by it. There was not going to be any kind of shock that Florida State was going to lose this game, but still any kind of pride, integrity, all that kind of stuff, I feel like has just gone out the window. And I think this was it's the same product, but it's getting worse week by week. You also lost to one of your best players on the defensive side of the ball, the one that brought passion, the one that brought a lot of juice. Literally, that's why his nickname is that. But Justin Cryer went out with seemed to be a pretty severe injury. We'll wait and see if we get some word on that from, Mike Norvell. But still, he gets carted off, and, you lose a player like that. And it's just like, man, why has it got to be Justin Cryer, a guy that has performed and has been out there trying? You can see a guy that's being vocal and communicating and giving his best effort, and then you see him having to endure something like that. So hopefully we'll get a better update on that end from Justin Cryer. But it's just, you did the whole 2 QBs thing again, VZ. You threw in Crowenhouse, you threw in Luke, and you threw in Brock, and seemed like that was just a fluid thing for Mike, that what he wants to do moving forward throughout the rest of this season. We didn't know if we'd see Luke going into this game. Kind of was heavily taped during warmups. Seemed like he got dinged up in that Miami game, but sure enough, both quarterbacks see the field, and I think we're going to definitely shed off that red shirt for Luke this year, and I'm completely fine with it. I think nowadays, with you've got the transfer portal and how kids go early, if they get that opportunity to go to the next level, get as many reps for him as possible. As you can tell, he can definitely learn more by being out there. But how are you going to learn with the offensive line, VZ? How could anybody, even Michael Vick, Jordan Travis? I guess you got to have Jordan Travis. You got to have Jordan Travis.
Got to have something, because this O-line ain't it. I mean, we were talking about it on Wednesday how UNC had 10 sacks against Virginia last time they played. And at least Florida State held them under that mark, but not by much, with I think it was 7 sacks on the game. Whoever the white guy was, number 12, was just destroying Florida State all game.
Atkinson.
No matter who he was lined up against, whether it was that left tackle against Darius, if he was playing D tackle against the guards, he was killing every single one. Yeah, just an embarrassing effort. And the ACC network just showed it's Omarion Hampton's 5 touchdowns is the first time the North Carolina players had 5 touchdowns since 1981. So there's a little more history breaking for you, Florida State. Congrats.
Yeah, there's a good comment here from Troy on Facebook saying excuses have dried up. Talking about it doesn't mean shit, and you're right. I mean, we've sat on here and have talked about it since practically that Boston College game. It was definitely, you shouldn't have lost to Georgia Tech in your first game either. But we can just keep on hammering things. Everybody, it's obvious for a 5-year-old to know what is wrong with this football program, and it's infected all the way into the entirety of inside the offices and what Michael Alford's going to have to do and sit down with Coach Norvell, because, you know, in this game, I just don't see where the future entails at the moment for Florida State with Mike. I really don't. You open the season with Alabama coming in town. Yeah, that game is going to sell tickets or whatever, but I wouldn't give a flying F about going to that game if, first off, you retain some of your staff. Now you're actually completely forced to move on from almost the entirety of the staff at this point, but there's only just a few on my one hand that you can keep. But, you know, now the question mark is fully over. We can't just allow Mike Norvell to have all these different excuses. Like, you know, when we go back and look at what Willie Taggart and that staff did, and this is way worse. It's way worse. You know, we can try to overlook it. Yes, Mike Norvell, undefeated season last year and the regular season, but you can't, it's almost quite impossible to go from that kind of play and that season, VZ, to a 1-8. It's unimaginable. If you would have told me this when we were doing our season predictions, that this team would do this, I would be like, man, I'm on that good down here. Whatever D-Lou's got, or whoever's got whatever, I'm on something crazy, because you're speaking blasphemy, as my guy Stephen A. Smith would say. And then
yeah, I would have thought worst case 6-6. Like, there's just no way they don't at least make a bowl game if they decide to go. But this is insane. I'd rather them be 0-9. As crazy as that is to say, I would rather them just completely bottom out. 0-9 is funnier than 1-8. 1-8 just sucks. 0-9 is funny. And none of this is funny right now.
I don't know how they beat Cal, but if you look at the
standings, I don't either.
They're somehow below FSU in the ACC standings. So that's how FSU beat Cal. And I mean, it's a team that, you know, watching it, just watching it, a lot of people, I mean, we weren't there, won't be going up. They're going to go up there for the Florida game, but just going to spend time with family since it's Thanksgiving weekend. But just watching on the ACC network, I don't care what broadcast it could have been. You know, Doak is completely a shell of itself. I heard the cheerleaders more than I heard anything of the fans in the stands, which I don't blame anybody there. My father's there, and he's always going to go to every game as he should to support his alma mater and support this team. But just the product that the team is putting out there for the fans is just so extremely disrespectful. At this point, it's disrespectful, and I don't know how anybody will be at the Charleston Southern game. Maybe just because there will be a chance for a win to happen,
and not just win.
I don't know how.
Turquoise jerseys.
Yeah, maybe
that's almost worth the trip from me. That's almost worth the 9-hour trip for myself. I'm so serious.
No, I don't know about that. I think it's completely. They got to. Turquoise jerseys ain't coming until 2025. That's disrespectful to bring them out on a 1-9 team. Completely disrespectful. They cannot do that. But yeah, I feel like I'd hear more at a Quidditch match on Landis Green than what I heard in Doak Campbell Stadium throughout this game. It was pathetic to hear, and I don't blame the fan base. There's no blame on that. It's completely on the shoulders of Mike Norvell and what this staff has put out there, and they overlooked completely and just evaluated awfully. I want to keep this PG for the most part.
Oh, we're already past that point. That ship sailed 5 minutes ago, Logan.
Yeah. So do you want 4 stars and 5-star guards, or do you want to get rid of Atkins?
Oh, Atkins gone for sure. You know how my feelings are on Atkins, but I know Norvell's going to want to keep those guys. I know what he's thinking at this point. I think we can chalk up Dugan's being gone since all those receivers decommitted. I think the same goes for Thompson since his guys about to decommit. I think Randy Shannon should have already been gone. Just evaluate Ernie Sims because he's the one guy that's at least been a position coach somewhere else that you can evaluate and see how you feel heading into the offseason. But this is horrible, man. I know we've already talked about it in every instant reaction and every Wednesday podcast and sometimes Tuesdays when we have other stuff to do on Wednesdays. The offensive line sucks. I don't know how many times we have to keep saying it because it's just going to keep getting worse, but they suck. They're so bad. Yeah. I am so tired. I am mad at myself for voting Darius Washington All ACC first team in the preseason. I'm mad at myself. He's been that bad.
Yeah. Like not even a turnstile at this point anymore. Just come on by, get eaten alive. Some of these, I mean, I feel so bad for Lawrence Toafili because he's not the back that have to be able to shed off 1 or 2 or 3 defenders in the backfield like you had with Trey Benson and what you thought you potentially had with Rodell Williams. But he's just not the back for that. And with this offensive line, it is horrid. And all I could do is laugh. And I think FSU fans, you just got to laugh it through because, you know, some of the play calling, it's just, I think of it like it's like the Cleveland Browns whenever they just couldn't win a damn game for that stint that they had, and they're fighting for always a number 1 overall pick. Mike, there's no number 1 overall pick you're going for. Try with the game at least. Try some different things.
If only tanking got us Jeremiah Smith or something, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. I need offensive line. I don't
that too.
Damn who. Yeah, I don't care who a damn comes out at wide receiver. Peter Warwick. You got to have an offensive line, and you got to pay all of the NIL that you potentially have dried up now that you can utilize.
I knew it was bad when UNC got that last interception, and the defensive back didn't even celebrate. He just stood up, handed the ball to the ref, and walked off the field. I'm like, we've gotten this low as a program where we can't even celebrate an interception.
That was funny. I could see that too. He's like, can we just get to the buses, man? This is taking forever. Why is this game still going on? 3rd and 11, Lawrence Toafili up the middle. Like, come on, man. Just come on, really? And you're still within reach of a game. I know like FSU is not going to score more than 1 touchdown, but you're still within reach. It's like 14-3. It's 3rd and 11, Lawrence Toafili up the middle with no offensive line. Come on, man. Come on, dog.
And we haven't even mentioned the atrocious 3rd down defense. Allowing UNC to go 11 for 16 with an average 3rd down distance of, I want to say 5.5 yards. They did not care. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 16. It didn't matter. Here's a 1st down. Here you go. Congratulations, UNC.
Yep. No, the cushion. We talked about this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Game. But, you know, the cushion on the wide receivers, I don't know if it was 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 sounds about right. There's no one
shorter than that.
Dude, there's no one on site on the broadcast.
I remember the exact play. It was 3rd and 4, and whoever the cornerback was 12 yards off of him. And dude's just standing on the 1st down line with no one within 15 yards of him. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yep. Just an easy, quick slant. All right. Well, that's it. Easy. And I think some of the UNC players are kind of like shocked. They're like,
oh, yeah.
What? When they get up and after they make these plays, they're like, damn, really? Like, we're facing a team that's just completely shot, or coaching staff has put them in the wrong spots. It's like I don't know. And then you got players dancing after scoring, and you're down by multiple scores. You're 1-7 at that point. Now 1-8. Why are you dancing?
I've got a hypothetical question for you.
I love those.
I don't know if you saw my tweet about this, but in a game that never ends, let's just say it keeps rolling quarter after quarter. How many quarters would it take to score 4 offensive touchdowns?
I think you and I 4
4
touchdowns, offensive touchdowns.
offensive touchdowns. So they can't get a pick 6 or a kick return touchdown. 4
Well, it took
offensive
one.
touchdowns. It
Okay,
took
so it
one
took
entire game to get one
entire
touchdown a
game.
day.
So we'd be here till tomorrow afternoon, probably, to see 4 touchdowns.
So
4,
that's
8,
what?
12, 6. Tomorrow
16
morning, then.
quarters? 20
Tomorrow morning.
quarters?
Yeah. Tomorrow morning,
It's
Florida State would have
it's
scored its 4th.
it is so bad.
Mhm. Yeah, it's horrid. I mean, there's no reason to just keep on bringing up stats on here. I think we're well over, like, analyzing the team and such. When you see the team start to quit, there's no worth in bringing up stats. I mean, it's just kinda disrespectful to the fan base of what that product is on the field. I would put out a tweet earlier at halftime of just screenshotting that first drive touchdown in Ireland against Georgia Tech, and I'm sure like you, VZ, and we were in that Discord chat talking, and we were like, okay, Mike is really pissed off because he went for that 2-point conversion with Brian Courtney,
Yep.
and they got that. And I was like, oh damn, Mike is really going to be like that this year.
And then just instantly it fell off. It wasn't even like it took like a half or 3 quarters or something. Just instantly it fell off the rails.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm like smiling and laughing too much. I just can't. I mean, the 1-8.
I don't care.
What can you do?
I'm smiling because Florida State basketball season starts on Monday.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, I'm looking forward to. You have no idea. This is probably the
Can't
most
wait for the
excited
comments to
I've
pop
been.
up on that one. That'll be great.
Yeah, and then we'll get Leonard Hamilton, and he's going to bounce back that Florida State basketball program.
I'm just saying. Last time Florida State football lost to UNC, the basketball team won 26 games, finished second in the ACC. It could happen.
Yeah. 7 sacks allowed. Let me go back to that offensive line, VZ. Let me get you another stat real quick.
No, I said that earlier.
7 sacks. 7 sacks. I feel like I could have just done scheduled tweets like every 5 to 10 minutes.
Especially at the end of the first half. You were tweeting it basically every play.
Yeah, like I kind of it was getting repetitive there. But 42 total yards and rushing for Florida State. Luke Roman.
Atkinson, who I know we were talking about earlier, 3.5 sacks. Does anyone on Florida State's team have 3.5 sacks for the season? I'm so serious.
And I don't think so. Who would? Unless it's Daryl. No, it's only at 3. Daryl's at 3.
Daryl's at 3. Is Farmer at 3.5 yet? He had some earlier in the year.
Yeah, he had some earlier, but I don't know. North Carolina's first downs, 23-10. FSU's there. FSU only had a total play number of 46 in this game. 40 minutes of time of possession for UNC in this. This is
and 500 total yards. We haven't even said that yet. 500 total yards for North Carolina.
Right compared
to 201 for FSU. Yeah, 201. I said they wouldn't get to 220. I feel like that was a pretty good snipe.
Yeah, this was funny too. Whit bringing this up. Norvell tried to ice Ryan Fitzgerald in the first quarter for crying out loud.
Oh, and it's not the first time.
Ryan Fitzgerald. Shout out to Ryan Fitzgerald. 56-yard bomb. That's what we get to get excited about on here nowadays.
Your only 3 draft picks from this team will be Fitz, Mastromano, and AZ Thomas. That is it.
Yeah, that's about all she wrote there for the NFL draft. And there was some chatter that Florida State and this year's draft would be better than last year.
He said the whole D line would go top 100. I don't even know if Florida State's entire roster was drafted right now. Like they were doing like a pickup game. I don't know if Florida State's D line would go top 100 in that draft.
No, I don't think so either. No, I'm looking for some comments and everything in here. I think it's everybody on the ranting mode as they should be. This is from Patrick asking, can we fire the staff for breach of contract? They're being paid to coach and are clearly not doing that if we get worse every week. I mean, you bring up a great point. Florida State finds a way to get worse week by week, and now you're seeing the quit get marinated in. And that's what I was talking to you guys about when we were previewing this game was, okay, they lost to Miami there. I think that's going to go ahead and do it, and a lot of the fight that they're going to have. And
Mhm.
what sucks though, it's being infected into some of the younger players now. Like there was a play there where Hampton's going up the middle, going for a score, and get to the second level, and Quindarius Jones just kind of goes for a shoulder tap, and Shaheem Brown's making sure that he doesn't get hurt and doesn't make the tackle. It's starting to marinate to the younger players, which you absolutely hate to see. But I mean, what else do you kind of want these guys to do? They obviously don't believe in the staff and what they're putting out there. This team is poorly coached in so many areas, left and right, north and south. Like, well, what else at this point? And then they're going to go up to Notre Dame and get a spanking there that might last just the first quarter or second quarter at most. So, you know, question here from Chad. Tell us how they aren't firing Norvell because of the money and why that makes sense. Either he goes or the AD goes for giving a coach that had two losing season out 4, now 3 out of 5, a dumb contract extension. Alabama wasn't taking this guy. Tell you what,
Well,
Sexton is he got his bag, and he is a mastermind manipulator and the coaching agent scene.
it depends on who you believe. There are some people that believe Norvell was on the phone with Alabama when the extension came through for Florida State. So depends on who you believe. But again, Florida State was 13-0 last season. It made perfect sense to extend him. No one was mad at that extension 10 months ago.
Mhm.
Obviously, it makes more sense now to be mad because the team sucks. But the money, being 13-0 last year, he's at the very least he gets one more year just to kind of ease that buyout a little bit. And then if the team's still 1-11 next year, then yeah, makes sense to move on. But
Well,
it's not
six
going to
and
happen this offseason. Don't get your hopes
yeah,
up.
yeah. I mean, 6-6. I think there's an argument that it's time to kind of look
Yeah.
and you move on there from him. But yeah, if you're in a different time point from when we looked at this team last year, like you were saying, VZ, like okay, the climb worked. You got here, and you were able to reach that ACC championship. You got the win there. You lost your star quarterback. Who knows if you would have had that opportunity to get to the college football playoff? And depending on who you face, let's say you matched up against Washington, that could have been a good game. And you never know if you could have gotten to that point of reaching that national championship because of the defensive side of ball that you had with all those superstars that are now showing up into the league as rookies this year. But who when there nobody had this coming. No one
No.
in the world,
Like
national,
even
ground, no
even
one.
Feinbaum, who hates Florida State as much as anybody, he just had Florida State, finish the season unranked, and we were mad at him for that.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah,
Little did we know.
little did we know that this was actually accurate, although he was definitely doing that for some engagement farming, but
Oh yeah.
he had his hot takes, and now he gets to be happy about them. There's a question here. We were talking about this earlier from Cornelius Coleman on Facebook. Is this worse than the
Worser.
Willie era?
That grammar's worse than the Will area, that's for sure. But yes, it is.
It is worse. It is worse than the Willie area by far. Like there's no sugarcoating it. Yes, Mike did his run last year, but this is something that I'd hope we'll never see in our lifetime again. But this is something that you see from maybe a very, very small team with no funding and a high school level. Like this is very hard to do what Mike Norvell has been able to do this season. And uh, absolutely, it's way worse. I mean, like you just know going into these games that there's no shot for FSU to compete. Like I think too, as a fan, just like I watch my Steelers, like I'd still have that hope. Oh man, we can go out and
Oh, I
win this
don't.
one. I know that we shouldn't be winning, but we go out and you watch Florida State and offensively, you just can't do anything. You can't put any points on the board, and any kind of sport, you have to put points on the board in order to win. And Florida State isn't able to do that whatsoever. Terrell Thomas said that he's in pain everywhere, legit everywhere. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of coaching staff changes. I mean, it's mandatory at this point. It's just a really brutal, brutal, brutal watch. It's a tragic thing to see out there on the field, and it's fireable. Like if Mike didn't have this contract, extension, like we were just talking about, it is fireable. To me, on the
Sure.
if I'm on the
No, I
sideline,
agree.
I'm at Alfred, it's fireable. This is a fireable offense of what this product is on the field. Like there's the thing is there's zero improvement. There's zero from your quarterbacks. Your offensive line has been horrid. That coach should have been gone. I think now it's time to go ahead and slash off some. There's no reason not to go ahead and slash off all these position groups that are just brutally awful and have been awful for 3+ months and going
I
back to
think it
last
only
year and
makes
the year before.
I think it only makes sense to do that if there's someone behind them you want to evaluate. There's no difference. Like with Dugans, is there someone else you'd rather elevate?
It's to please the fan base at this point. I mean, there's not going to be. I mean, they're
You're
just
not
done.
pleasing this fan base at 1-8. It doesn't matter what you do.
You could please. I mean, it could please a good amount of people to think.
It should have happened 2 years ago. It doesn't make a difference if he waits an extra 3 weeks or not.
Yeah, we'll read exactly. They better not. Don't bring out the turquoise jerseys against Charleston Southern. That would be a criminal offense. Do not do that. That'd be disrespectful to the Seminole.
Especially because if they lose to Charleston Southern, then half of the fan base is going to blame it on the jerseys and not the terrible football team, and that's what's going to make me mad.
Yeah, no, not allowed. Shouldn't be allowed. But yeah, that's the Florida State football team. They're 1-8 right now. And are going to go up to North Carolina. This is going to move to. I'm going to go up to North Carolina. They're going to go up to Notre Dame. This is going to go to 1-9. Florida is keeping it close with Georgia. They lost Lagway and a really bad injury for him. But I mean, we all are predicting Florida State to lose that game in Florida. It's really coming down to Charleston Southern. There's going to be another win for this team as we end off this 2024 season. Zay says, no matter what happens over the next 2 years, he should be fired because of the culmination of decisions that led to the worst season in almost every living FSU fans' lifetime. Atrocious. I believe what a lot of y'all are saying. I really do. I'm right there with you. And like I said, no one saw this coming. No one saw a team go out there on Saturdays and put out the kind of play effort and also to the coaching staff and their ineptitude to actually play a game. It's like not even like really playing a game at the moment at VZ. It's like really not even trying. And you got to wonder, when we heard earlier this week, Dustin was telling us this was a brutal stretch of practices, and sure enough, it product shows on Saturdays now. So I only think it's just going to get a deeper decline, and that's now the only impressive thing to watch is look and see how this team can look worse next week, and then the next week, and then I'm interested to see what the grand finale is going to be against Florida.
What do you think the spread is for the Notre Dame game? I'm saying at least 23.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go higher. I'm gonna go like 26.5, not 27 mark for me.
We'll have to revisit this on Wednesday.
It's gonna be pretty high. But yeah, offensively, defensively, the third and 9s, third and 11s, third and 15s, third and 20s. It's been the same way all year. Offensively, defensively, it's bad. We can just keep ranting on it, but we're not going to do that. We're just not going to waste any more time for everybody, as they can just go watch some better football if they want to. But Easy, do you have anything that you would like to say before we wrap this thing up?
Basketball season Monday.
We'll be back here live on Wednesday recapping that basketball game, but that's about it. I can't say. I mean, it's
the first time we've said that. It's the first time we've said that in 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Who's ready for that Florida State versus Notre Dame football preview? Make sure you're with us Wednesday night at 7:00. We got to find new ways to entertain you guys, but we'll find a way. The show keeps going, baby. No matter what, we've been through everywhere. This is the farthest down we've been of having to cover a team, but show rolls on. We enjoy doing it for you guys and being able to just come on here and rant a little bit, because that's kind of now where it's at. We can't really give analysis on stuff. It's just everybody sees the product and how garbage it is. And yeah, we'll see. Interested to see. I actually am not interested to see what Mike Norvell says in the presser, because
I'm not whatsoever.
Nothing is going to come significant from that. But yeah, everybody, please enjoy the rest of y'all's weekend if you can. Got to hope here Florida doesn't go and upset number 2 Georgia, but they're in scoring distance now. It's just we were laughing at Florida this whole entire offseason. We thought that Billy Napier would be fired within
Life comes
3 or
at you
4
fast.
games. Yeah, we look like idiots now. Oh well, is what it is. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you guys on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Peace.